Okay, this is the Romancing Flesh. I'm not sure what this game is about, but it looks hella dope. It's actually a game jam project for Spooktober Jam something, Spooktober Game Jam. And, you know, for the usual, it's made on Renpai, so it's nice as well. The Warden wants to see you. Follow me. Delisle Correctional Institute. Delisle, Delisle, I don't know how to pronounce that, I don't know. Correctional Institute, 1946. He's all yours, sir. Your relief, Jeremia, best to get home to the missus. Thank you, sir. Okay. I really like this style of like dialogue thingamajig with Honor Renpai. I've transformed Delisle Correctional Institute from a dingy country jail to one of the top facilities in the country. How did you know that? I didn't do that just by imprisoning small-time crooks, murderers and thieves. No, sir. Over the years, I have curated a very specific type of prisoner. Deviants. Wait, deviants? Wait, I can't. That drop is so bad. Because I was like confused, like, oh god, how do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it? Defiance, yeah. I mean, I'm like, deviants. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just can't be serious, okay? For some reason, I don't know why. Because I'm like, oh, deviant art, and like, defiance. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. I don't even care anymore. They're not like you or me. Sickos, perverts, communists, whatever you like to call them. They can't be rehabilitated because they're barely human to begin with. Huh. And the strangest part is, you think even part of their brain is broken, but they can still feel shame. A father of three will try to shoot you dead if you accuse him of putting on dresses and having sex with bellboys. A well-to-do woman will stick her head in the oven before she'd admit to a dalliance with the colored boy down the road. What's dalliance? I never heard of that word before. I need to like search this word up in the dictionary later. Hell. Even my old mother was a goddamn suffragette. I never heard of these words, man. Lots of like new vocabulary for me. But me or that would have beaten the snot out of her if we found that out before she groped on us. It's a difficult thing to get confessions from these freaks. Now, normally when a district attorney needs a bit more time to build a case against one of these deviants, they'll rush them through the courts on some trumped up charge. Keep them in prison for a while and hopefully buy enough time to build a case. But if they can't, Delisle Correctional Institute will get a confession from them. Oh dear, I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce some of these words. Some of these words are like, wow. I need to like expand my vocabulary, man. We've read the works of Freud, Moreno, and Watson. Reproduced experiments of Parloff and Skinner, and consulted with Warden, Miller, and Jung. And we've distilled them all into an effective methodology that loosens the prisoner's tongue while leaving them free of the physical cuts and bruises that won't play well to judges or juries. Real humane-like. But listen to me ramble on. The reason I brought you in here is because your cellmate, Mr. Charles Keating, is one of these deviants. We've tried our best to build a psychological profile on him, find a proper plan of attack, but Mr. Keating managed to run out the clock on us. Mr. Keating will have served his sentence as of midnight tonight, unless we get a confession in the next few hours. I want you to read these documents from the US Attorney's Office. If you believe anything in these documents can be used to get a confession out of Mr. Keating, we need to know. In return, if you merely read these documents, even if you don't find anything, we'll consider your sentence served. I know it sounds too good to be true. Anything you can tell us might be the key to keeping this monster behind bars. He doesn't fit into the world. He belongs with me. Okay, drag an object to move it, click to view. Dope. Really dope. Can I click this? Houses, okay. Let's move. What's this? Dearest Mama, the bus trip is a bit longer and more uncomfortable than I was expecting, but I should be in Alabama within a few days. I've called Dr. Petrov's office and he assures me his facility is a few hours outside of Fayette, and I'm not as far from civilization as I fear. I may have to forgo the nightly edition of the paper, but we all must make deep sacrifices in times of war. Please remind Father that Dr. Petrov's work is being funded by the US Army, and although I won't exactly be one of the tough subs marching into Hirohito's palace, I'll be an active contributor to the war effort. Besides, I hear that if I were a service member, the letters I send you would look like the Swiss cheese, and we don't want to exacerbate your lactose intolerance. I hope this letter finds you in better spirits than when I left, and in worse spirits than when I'm there. Your loving son, Charles. Okay, what about the movie? Recording dated February 12th, 1942. Okay. Hello. Oh dear, wait. What the fuck? Why are you moving like that? That's so uncanny. I don't know why. I do like 3D or something, I don't know. You look so uncanny for some reason. Dr. Petrov. The animation is so uncanny for some reason. This is cool though. I'm sorry for the call. The bus trip is taking a bit longer than I was expecting, but I shall be there in just a couple more days. That's fine, I'll be setting up the lab, and most of my supplies shipments will be arriving late as well. You should be in town just in time to help me get everything up and running. Phew, good. Is there anything I should brush up on before I get to the lab? I managed to grab a decent selection of medical journals while I was in Boston. Plant cellular structure. What? The nature of the work we'll be doing is a bit cross-disciplinary. I trust your medical knowledge is up to date, but I need to make sure you've brushed up some of the basics of botany. I suppose I could visit a bookstore while we're at the stop. A newsstand should have some periodicals. No need for the latest journals, Mr. Keating. You don't need to know the latest scientific learnings, but you should be able to write and illustrate a grade school textbook on a basic plant biology with your eyes closed before you get here. Okay, I'll make sure to study hard on the trip over. Good lad. And if you could bring a tin of real coffee, I'd appreciate it. We're down to the stuff cut with chicory down here. I'll try my best, sir. See you in a few days. Click. Oh, I forgot to ask if it was alright for me to record the call. Well, there goes. Science is a poor pursuit for young men. Too much infatuation with the new and novel, with no room to appreciate the refuge of tradition. Quite frankly, Mr. Keating should have seen what was coming next. Okay, what's in the notes? Oh, what's that? That's cool. Okay. Oh, I want to see everything though. What's this? March 8, 1942. The subject is 42FA5, and it's time for her meal. It looks like whatchamacall again? Homunculus. The FA. Oh, wait. Why does it skip? It skip on its own. Can I? Here I can like. Why does the middle thingy like skip on its own? I don't know. It can't really read it. Maybe I like pause the thingy in the recording. I don't know. I can't really read it. But yeah, it seems to be able to. Oh, FA6 will generally require a fly every few hours until it fully blooms. After which it only needs flies for the occasional vitamins. It seems to be able to sense when the fly is near, but further experimentation will be needed to determine how. Okay, let's see. This is cool. The animation is so cool. I love it. Yeah. Aw, that's cute though. The thing is cute. It's so cute. Nothing here. She swallows the fly whole, crushing it inside of its stomach. Once it starts growing teeth, in a few days she'll switch to chewing. as it conserves a bit more energy. This thing is cute, I really like it. What about this thing? This is something. The thingy? Flower. Whatchamacall again? Finger flower. This reminds me of that music video by Leaf. I think it's like called, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a song popular in rhythm games. Recording dated March 3rd, 1942. There, we're recording it now. I don't want to be recorded. What now? What the hell did you get me involved with, Miss Dr. Petrov? It's a flower, Charles. It has teeth! Yes, teeth were unexpected, but how evenly, look how evenly they grew in. The dentistry isn't the issue, Dr. Petrov. What you're doing is unethical. How exactly is it unethical? You rip apart a living, breathing thing to make... Mr. Keating, this isn't a butcher's shop. I'm not hacking and stitching animals together like a cheap circus attraction, like cheap circus attractions. I grew this flower from a blastocyst. I fertilized the egg by needle injection in my lab. Interesting. What do you mean grew? Before it reaches the embryonic stage, you can count the number of cells inside the blastocyst by hand. If you have an expensive microscope, a small needle, and lots of time, you can even identify what each of those individual cells will grow and divide into. Interesting. So I take those individual cells and instead of letting it grow into a monkey, I manually remove what I don't want it to grow and rearrange what I do want to grow. It's cool though, like genetic stuff. But why did it turn into that? You read those botany books, like I told you, yes? Yeah? Very simple structures, aren't they? Most of the plant is made of the same type of cell. No complicated organ systems, no skeletal structure, no need for a centralized brain. If I took these pre-embryonic masses of cells and just rearranged them willy-nilly, I'd create thousands of malformed failures before I stumble upon a useful form. So instead, I use plant structures as a basis to rearrange the cells, and the results have been astounding. Just a few rows of my pseudo-plant cell design, and it not only maintains the structure but continues growing it naturally, like the animal cells can remember their plant roots. Pardon the pun, of course. But you're missing the point. You're not growing a new life. You're forcing something to suffer from its own birth. They don't suffer, Charles. I've been analyzing their brain patterns. They use so little energy to grow. Their brains default to a dream state, calm, peaceful sleep. And then we'll be killing them for their meat. I mean, honestly, we kinda already eat tons of meat. Like, you know, cow meat, pig meat, horse meat, I don't know, like fish meat, tons of meat, lots of it. Like, we already eat a lot of meat. It's like, no, it's gonna be no different. Like, a lot of cows are already kind of like, you know, be selectively bred. It's kind of like genetic engineering, but like, you know, it's they're being selectively bred, so it's nothing different, honestly. Yes, but someday I'll design them to grow as large as trees, shedding meat like apples off their branches, living for hundreds of years. Sounds really kind of dangerous, especially considering the teeth. A forest of these trees will negate the need to raise animals for slaughter, ending a 10,000-year genocide of innocent creatures. I already bought a plot of land a bit further north for when I'm ready to grow them. I thought it would take decades for me to make something like this, but then I found you. I've read your paper on a typical embryonal development, and it felt like a practical extension of my own work on the teratology of plants and animals. That paper was on birth defects. Petrov, I can't do that to animals on purpose. What's evolution if not a series of beneficial birth defects? What will take 1,000 generations and that ends to spontaneously develop, we could grow overnight. While other scientists are trying to fix the problems nature gave us, we'll design a sustainable future for the planet. Well, it should be a future without biting flowers at least. Yeah, I'm not against the whole like plant growing meat thingamajig, but I'm kinda like concerned about the teeth. But maybe you could isolate the stomach and rearrange the structure like a Venus flytrap? A Venus flytrap, I see. I'm glad I recorded that because I am out of panic. Tape shut off. Okay, neat. Really neat. And what else is here? The note. Dear Aunt Sonja, happy birthday. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person this year, but I hope my package arrived in time for the party. Work has been busier than expected. I'm sorry in my last few letters give the impression that I can't be frank about the work I'm doing, but now that the lab is fully operational and the experiments have started in earnest, I realize some self-censorship on my own part will be required. In the vaguest of terms possible. Oh god, hold on, I need to burp. My work involves supplementing the army's diet with quick and cheap meat, but Dr. Petrov has some lofty goals for where the research could lead. I'm sorry to say your sister's son attended college to become a glorified sausage maker, but it's not the worst place war could have taken me. That being said, Dr. Petrov is very passionate about the work we're doing. It's miles different from the lab work at Tufts College. There's a half dozen experiments in different stages of development, and every day I'm learning something new. It's frantic and fast-paced, but energizing. It'll be a while before we're manufacturing canned meats, but I could probably trade you some jerky for your homemade fudge by next Christmas. Your loving nephew, Charles. Okay, yay, it's the thing again. Whatever this thing is. Oh, it's just like this thing now. No man like you, or I, would know better. When the witch in the woods welcomes you into her gingerbread house, you don't accept the invitation. Okay, you throw her in the file. Ooh, this is getting cooler. I really like these plants. Bring an object to move it. Really cool. I love the art in this game. Like, this is dope. I'm gonna screenshot this later and save it as like wallpaper. But the first one is the best. I love the plant with teeth. I love how there's like claws as well on like this one. These plants are cool. I really like this. What about the recording? Recording dated August 24th, 1942. Okay, it's on. Say that again, Charles. Chimera? Haha, yes, but the whole thing, you drunk. The entire thing you say, the whole thing again. Okay. The plant animals we've been growing tend to be fairly small for a lot of reasons. First, we've only grown them for singly arranged blastocysts. Second, we've only allowed them for a few weeks to reach maturity. And third, the plants can't grow faster than the animals' parts that came from wool. Okay. Yes, but get to the important part. Okay, so our experiments with grafting have been failures. But instead of trying to graft during adulthood, we can simply make our pre-embryonic blueprints bigger by using more blastocysts. And this won't result in rejection because we have well documented cases of siblings ingesting other smaller embryos in the womb, resulting in the embryo containing cells from both siblings, chimeras. We will merely start that stage in the process even earlier and assemble larger plants. Now that implies we can only use genetic siblings to build these plants, I assume we can't use other animals too genetically unsimilar. You could certainly experiment and find out. Yeah, come on, experiment is like the key to discovery and I guess like, I don't know, steps in mankind. I'd certainly like to see a rabbit pigeon dandelion or something. You blow on it and a bunch of seeds will fly out on the rabbit's earwings. You see, inspiration can strike at any time, Charles. We could have forgotten all about this in the morning. Yes, fine, I can see the merits of our little recording device there. Oh, another idea. What if you made plant animals that interconnected with each other, like pieces of a puzzle piece. Are we making a hive mind? Oh dear. You could have one plant specifically designed to collect and refine nutrients, which can feed a second plant that can just focus on growing bigger. That's a strange place to need a mouth, Charles. Whatever you'd like to put it, your mouth is fine to me, Dr. Petrov. What was that? Oh yes, it was just a little joke. Let's call it a night. Recording this. You aren't recording this by any chance, are you? Tape shut off. Neat, really neat. What about the note then? Let's see. Dear cousin Delia, I've been paying extra to get the hometown paper shipped down here in Alabama, and I read that you won a blue ribbon for your peanut butter fudge at the country fair last month. You must be absolutely over the moon. I can relate to a lesser extent. As I've told you in my last correspondence, I'm finally getting the hang of the work which must be sacred, and I've managed to make a breakthrough of my own. Essentially, for the past year, I've been trying to perfect Dr. Petrov's recipes. He'll make some new sort of confectionery, and when he feels like I'm ready, I'll go through the hard work of perfecting it. A little less flour here, a little more baking powder here, there, trying to get the ratios just right. I finally made a recipe of my own. I hope someday I can share it with you and the rest of the family, and make you as proud as you all make me, especially the ribbon winners among you. With love, Charles. P.S. Take it, your mother won't stay the number 2 baker in the family for long, and she'll make everyone in the family fat with fudge until she's reclaimed her throne. Okay. If they stop there, we might be hailing them as gastronomic pioneers. Heck, I might have eaten a ribeye salad for dinner tonight. Okay, but I think they wanted more than food. Okay. If they stop there, we might... Wait, did it loop? It did loop for some reason, I'm not sure why. Ooh, we're getting like cooler stuff now. Okay, let's see. More stuff. What's this? It's like... plant. What's this? Oh, it's like octopus plant something, I don't know. Looks cool though, I really like how this looks. These are going in my library. This is going in my homework folder. What is this? Let's see. What's that on the rabbit's leg? These are going in my homework folder. And that's like food, I guess. Yeah. I mean, they are kind of like making food, right? Slowly making food. So yeah. Recording dated November 20th, 1942. Audio log 10:30:42. We may have hit a snag with the rabbit experiment. Off screen, are you recording a log on the rabbit experiment? It's just a lover's spat, Sergey. They'll be back together in no time. The rabbit's new leg bit it, Charles. I warned you this might happen if we didn't engineer both of the animals together that way. Olna was a little confused, that's all. Let's let Jack settle down for a couple days, and I'm sure he'll take Olna back. After seeing how quickly Jack took to his new leg, I was more than happy to let this whole thing keep going. But this necessarily the best thing for both of them? Is this... Olna can move around on their own, so can Jack. They're not wholly dependent on one another. Maybe we could just let them stay friends. Just stay friends? We should really be focusing on our real work. Plus, this is starting to veer off both of our areas of expertise. Let's just call the experiment off for now. You want to call it off, Sergey? Well, maybe I should take your advice and engineer a new symbiote for Olna then. A new partner might solve Olna's problems. Well, we don't know what sort of effect that'll have on Jack, mentally speaking. Again, Charles, this is all very new to me. Everything we've been doing has been very new to me. Some new experimental organisms, a novel discovery, some unexpected result. And it is exciting, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have someone reliable in all that chaos, who is also a little exciting himself. And I'm glad that person has been you. ... Maybe we can keep the Jack and Ulna experiment going. You can pick up the discussion in the morning, if you prefer. Tape shut off. Dear great uncle... Wait, why did it immediately go here? I don't know, yeah. Dear great uncle Anthony. Oh wait, I don't know. That was weird. But yeah, is this the Jack and Rabbit? Like, is this like the thingy on the rabbit's leg is like Jack? I don't know. So I'm guessing like the rabbit and the whatever the leg is like independent of each other. I don't know. Also, what's this one? Do they have names? Like if the thing is, if the whatchamacallit again, specimens have names, it'll be interesting. Dear great uncle Anthony, I tried recreating your famous dry rub mix. Some of the ingredients were hard to come by, rationing and all that, but I think we managed to get a close approximation. We threw a little backyard barbecue for the neighborhood to taste test our first production batch of meat, and it was a resounding success. This whole experience has given me a newfound appreciation for the time I spent on your farm when I was younger. Dr. Petrov nearly fainted during the butchering process, leaving me to do it all on my own. He reminded me of the time you put Clarabelle chicken on my dinner plate. Please write back when you have the chance. I'm dying to hear how the rest of the family is doing. Your city slicker grandnephew, Charles. Yeah, everything you've read so far is what I've had to scrape and scrounge to get from government files. So you've already read all this juicy stuff. The rest of is the boys in blue mopping up. Okay. Oh yeah, and like the game gets some like bugs, so it's alright I guess. Oh, no more like pictures, alright. Yeah, what's this picture? Oh, it's like the plant again. Yeah, the plant is growing bigger. That's neat. I like this though. It's like, I really like this. It's like experimenting to create something like some kind of abomination. I love it. I love this kind of stories. Incident report narrative, because it's just so fascinating. I don't know why. I just find it super fascinating, like kind of like creating a homunculus or like weird creatures. Incident report narrative. On the above date, P.O. Daniels responded to a call about an escaped animal. Upon finding the loose cow, P.O. Daniels saw its mouth was covered in blood. Oopsies. I was burping, sorry. Upon closer inspection, the grass, quote-unquote, the cow was eating was some kind of malformed rat stuck in the ground. After calling for backup, officers discovered a sizable acreage of buried deformed animals. Mr. Keating became agitated, and in response, officers were forced to put him into submission. Mr. Petrov was taken into custody for questioning. For health and safety reasons, it was decided to humanly dispatch the animals before bringing Mr. Petrov and Mr. Fielding into custody. Okay, interesting. Yeah, whatchamacallit, I think the game is like buggy because I switch between mouse controls and keyboard controls every now and then, because my hands like to go everywhere. Memo of the Office of Redacted. My Jack office has previously claimed on my behalf. Dr. Sergei Petrov was awarded a government contract from General who died during resulting in a transition period in which most of Petrov's work of an already secretive nature was done with little to no oversight until my office was made aware of it. Unfortunately, my upcoming absolvement may result in many more officers lower along the chain of command being found at fault. Officers you do not want to bring to court during these desperate times. Considering the improbability of systemic failure within the US Armed Forces, I suggest we propose the possibility that foreign agents were involved. Under the specific circumstances Petrov was working as a contractor, a treason charge would take him outside US military jurisdiction and tried as a civilian. You're welcome. Okay. And I want to see this again. This is cool. This is cool. Like Bambi with mouths. Fangs or something. Why fangs? Do they need a mouth like that? I don't know. Okay, to redacted. Mr. Keating and I are currently in Fayette County Jail. I believe the police have set fire to most of our work. I try to save as much of our work as possible, but please send copies of all the records I've sent so far to your offices. And if you have any internal copies of your correspondences, please send those as well. We've made remarkable progress in the few last months, and I believe if we act quickly, we can still reach our first production deadline. Thank you, Dr. Sergei Petrov. Yeah. We live in a delicate world, in a fragile time. This is not an era for radical new ideas. We just fought a long and hard war to re-establish the grand order of the world. For heaven's sake. And on American soil, a couple of dandy bookworms were playing God and feeding diseased meat to our children. I won't stand it. So I took a leaf from Mr. Petrov's playbook. I psychologically tore Mr. Keating apart and reformed and re-educated him as I saw fit. Okay, ooh, into you. Interesting, so I'm Mr. Keating? Ooh, good plot twist. I actually didn't expect that. In the disassociated state you're in, Mr. Keating, it gives you a sense of clarity, doesn't it? You can see what I see. Why didn't your family ever write you back? Why did your lover try to rescue his work instead of you? If you leave this prison tonight, where can you go? You know the answers. You know why you're here. You know why you need to sign this confession. Why you need to stay behind bars. Hold on, can I save? Let's save first, just in case, because I know. You left home and traveled across the country, hoping you'll change into the sort of person your family would miss. But instead of doing something to make them proud, you decided to pursue what made you happy, and you became a sick caricature of everything your parents hated about you in the first place. In a mama's boy sticking his meat in the dirt, hoping it'll grow. That sounds, if you know what I mean. Sign the confession. If you leave this prison now, you'll undo all the work I've done for you. You'll fall back into bad habits and become the same person you were 3 years ago. And none of us want that, would you? Holy shit, that guy's an asshole. No, I don't want to change back, Warden. Oh, there goes my jaws. I've made so much progress. Can I see like the... Yeah, there's the jaw, interesting. I've made so much progress. It was hard fabricating the equipment necessary to continue Dr. Petrov's work, but you won't believe how fruitful my experiments have become. Interesting? Ooh, really interesting. Ah, and quite frankly, I like the persons I have become. Really interesting. Really interesting. I like this. I really like this. Dope. Really dope. Dang, it took me months to find you. It's just so fascinating. I find it super fascinating. You didn't answer me when I called your name. Okay. Interesting. This is so fascinating. Let me move here. Use this text over there. From a distance, I almost couldn't recognize you. I move over here. But I found you. I hope you're dreaming of me. Drinking from the brook. Eating the fruit from your branches. Huddling from rain and sleep in your safe embrace. And someday, in a brief moment of lucidity, maybe you will read this message and knew I'm gone. He wanted us to change the world, and we did. This is dope. This is also going into my homework folder, I guess. Starting with ourselves. I'll always remember you fondly. Love, Charles. Finn. This is sick. I love this so much. This is so fascinating. Romancing flesh. It's like in a kinetic novel, but it's so fascinating, man. Let's go to the main menu. God damn, nice work. This game. Wait, have I said who made this game? This game is actually made by Vimi. Yeah, a person named Vimi, first Booktober 2021 visual novel jam made in Renpai. So, and this. I don't know if it's just me, but I find this thing super fascinating. The whole creating life, merging creating abominations, chimera, stuff like that. I also find things like those fascinating for some reason. I don't know why. Also, I'm sorry for moving around. Just really excited. I found this really interesting. And I hope you found this game really interesting too as well. I just really feel that I don't have any feet, but whatever. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, leave a like. And if you want to see more indie game content, leave a sub, alright? And if you want to like suggest me games, feel free to suggest me more games if you want. You know, suggest me things like I know, games that you want me to see, and I guess like, you know, games that you may think maybe like, you know, deserves more attention and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna go now because I've been like recording for a while, and yeah, I'm not gonna like say much stuff. Bye bye. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.